Welcome back, everyone. It's Steve, it's Jeff, it's the Steel Target Paint Podcast. Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Well, what's up, Vanilla?
No, that would be yo, 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 Steel Target Paint in the house.
Oh
That was a
man,
lot of fun having Vanilla Jones at the match. Yes, it was good.
it was unexpected.
You know, I wanted I wanted another memory to be made. Okay.
Oh, it was memorable, Jeff. It was memorable.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. For those that got it, that get me, it was a hoot. And those that don't know, so um I don't have blingy guns.
Well, you
Until
you,
until
you say
now.
that. You say
Until
that.
now. Um so if you've seen it on Facebook, my Scorpion has a set of Steve's brass grips. And then I have a friend that traded me their gold bolt for a regular bolt. And then I have Steve's Falcon compensator, which he graciously coated in gold.
Yes.
And now, although I didn't have it at the match, but now I have one of the new triggers for that gun also in gold. And by the way, Steve, um, I think you told me you brought about 100 of them to Rimfire Worlds. Isn't that about right?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
You did
Ran.
not. You did not go home with 100. I know that for a fact.
No, I've been pretty humbled that it's sold almost half of them this weekend, and the residual sales this week. Let's just say I placed another order yesterday for the next run of 1922 triggers. And yes, Jeff, I usually you come out of the gate with just plain black, but I knew that you needed a gold trigger, so
Oh,
it was worth the extra money
I
because
appreciate it.
the way that anodizing work is if you do one, it's $150. If you do 100 of them, it's $150. But that was the best money I've spent, Jeff. Just make sure you had a gold trigger,
Well,
or
I
at least at
appreciate
least
that.
at least that vanilla had a gold trigger.
Oh, my Lord. And I shot it this week in practice. I've got most of my students back into classes. There's still a couple that are, actually still dealing with issues from the hurricanes.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
yeah. So that's unfortunate, but yeah, I had about 75% of the classes on this week. Definitely did a lot of practicing with that gun. Had a lot of people try it. In fact, you know, I believe in your products to the point where at that match, I bought two for myself. I bought the gold one and I bought a black one. But I
Yep.
bought six other ones, just knowing that people were going to, there's a good chance a lot of my students are going to want that trigger. So classes started Tuesday. First class was at noon. Last class was at 5. And by the end of the day, all six of them were sold. And I had to call you and say, send me six more.
Yep. Which I think they're out for delivery, or they'll be delivered tomorrow.
Fantastic. Well, I know, and that was just my students. People are going to see it at the two gun steel match. They're going to see when I go up to Hernando. They're going to see it at the Saturday night, my Saturday match. They're going to see, it, the product sells itself. When people grab that gun, feel that trigger, it is just unbelievable. So I'm looking forward. I'm going to compete with it tomorrow. Hernando has well, they call it their 22 LR match.
Hmm.
It's effectively a two gun match. It's
Sure.
they do some different stuff where they allow if you want to shoot in their quote unquote freestyle division, that gives you the opportunity to shoot in. Like if I've gone up and just shot my pistol both times, when I was
Yeah.
prepping for Worlds. I see
Yep.
people go up and they'll just shoot their Rimfire and their PCC because they only want to shoot rifles. So they're open to that. So, and it's a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to that. So,
Well, Jeff, I don't want to be remiss and say I really appreciate your support of all of the products that I've come out with. It means a lot to me because you are an open and honest book. You'll say, "Hey, what are you thinking here?" Or, "Hey, this is great," or, "Hey, have you thought about this?" And I really value and appreciate that feedback. I'm just a guy over here making parts that, to be quite frank, I've always wanted, and I've had conversations with a couple of manufacturers over the years. This trigger, I had a conversation with a big player in this space back in 2017. Same thing with the grips and Magwell back in 2017 about making them and offering them, and nothing really happened. And I won't go through the other parts that I've made suggestions on that are currently being made by other manufacturers. But it's just it's a product for shooters, of course, made by shooters, and if I like them, and heck, I'm making them for everybody else as well. Not making a ton of money off of it, but enough that I can help dump money back into the sport and help support the sport, like the Creekside Custom Georgia State Steel Challenge match that's coming up, and we're going to do something kind of cool, kind of big. Don't tell Alan about that. Got a cool plan of what's going on there, but it affords me the opportunity to, got a partnership with Ruger for an upcoming charity event here in a couple weeks up at Metal Madness that we're donating a gun that's all tricked out with the latest goodies, some that weren't available at the time, and one that's not available yet with the new bolt racker that's coming out probably next week. So
is that next week you're planning on dropping that?
Yeah, next week. So they're in transit right now from the manufacturer slash anodizer, and they're coming in. So I'm excited about that. They weigh 0.49 ounces. So everybody's like, "Wow, that thing looks big." Well, it's 0.49 ounces, so just under half of an ounce with set screws. So yeah, looking forward to getting those on the market, man. And they're really 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 cool. The interesting part, Jeff, I did something this past weekend that we've talked on the podcast several times about. Do not do this. You're a knucklehead if you do this. And I did it anyway, Jeff. You know what I did?
What was that, Steve?
I took one of the first triggers that I've got, and it was actually a gold one, and I put it in my my one-off custom Volquartsen Mamba X iron sight upper, tandem cross lower.
Oh yeah, you had
controls,
that. Is that the flame gun? The flame gun.
It is the flame gun.
Yeah.
And I put this 1922 trigger in that gun. I swear to God, I got them on Friday. Put it in, made some adjustments. And again, I put a video on my website about some do's and don'ts on how do you adjust specifically the pre-travel.
Right.
And I shot literally 50 rounds through the gun. And then I took it to the World Rimfire match.
Okay. So
shot it all weekend.
Yes.
Shot it all weekend.
So what you're saying is you highly recommend not changing something right before a major, is what you're saying.
Well, and here's the crazy part.
You were very fortunate because we shot together. We shot a weekend together. We had a fantastic squad. What a fun bunch of people.
It was awesome with Chet and Lance and everybody else. Yeah.
And we had Lance,
Moose and Lori,
and
Clint,
Dan Carpenter, Clint.
Yeah, Dan. Yeah.
It was Karina was on that squad with us.
Karina, yep.
Karina, it was just a hoot. But yeah,
but dude, it was, and here's the crazy part, because I grew up in this sport shooting a 1911. I think it's the Lord's gun. I think everybody should shoot a 1911. But one of the things that I've struggled with over the course of the years is that I haven't felt a trigger like a 1911 in a Ruger platform. I just haven't. And I'm not a trigger snob, at least I didn't think I was. But with the geometry and the design that went into this trigger, dude, I shot it. It had a little bit more pre-travel than I would like, but I wanted to make sure I didn't have any issues. Yeah, I don't know how many rounds I shot, probably about 30 more than I should have. but
Well,
but not a single issue. And I can confidently say I've never shot my rimfire pistol iron gun that well in my entire life. And it
so
was because of the trigger. For
I'm
sure.
I'm
For sure.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. You know the, you get the nice, beautiful Creekside custom case. You open that
Yes.
up, and there's the trigger, and you
Yep.
send a wrench, a hex
Yep.
wrench for the
Yep.
pre travel and over travel, and you've got
Yep.
them in a nice little bag. And on both my guns, all the screws are still in the bag because I'm not good enough to make a difference.
Stop it! You shot your pistols lights out this weekend, or your
Yeah,
open
well,
pistol.
again,
You shot it really well.
thank you. I had a lot of fun, and we're going to talk about that in a minute because that was the first Worlds I've ever been to and had an absolute blast. But getting back to the trigger, yeah, it's you can ply lip service to certain things and just tell people, oh yeah, it's better to make them go away and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, it's in my main gun, it's in my backup gun.
Yeah.
Everybody that grabs this gun grabs one of my guns and pulls the trigger, uh, uh, buys one. Mark Zachary pulled the trigger twice and turned around and bought two, one for his main, one for his backup.
Yep.
And I had, like I said, I had 6 of them sold. I got a feeling I'm gonna probably I'll have I don't know how long the other 6 are gonna go, but they're gonna go for sure. So, all right.
Well, we got that special one in there for that one person. I'm pretty sure you're gonna sell that one.
Oh, that one's already sold. Yes.
Oh, did you tell him?
I told him, yes. So
Oh,
if he's listening, Andre is getting don't tell his wife though. That's right. We're not supposed to tell his wife. I don't think she listens to the podcast though. So, but yes, Andre saw the trigger and he says, "Wow, I need one." I said, "Well, I have black ones when you train, I'll have one for sale." He's like, "No, no, no. I need a gold one." And I told Steve this, and in the 6 that are coming down, one of them is a gold one, and he was pretty freaking excited about that. So
yeah.
thank you
That
for that,
that
Steve. In fact,
you're welcome. That was
isn't
my
that one you
last.
had earmarked for one of your other guns too?
Yeah, that was gonna go in the Amba X that I have anodized with the brass grips. That's got all the crazy colors. That
Uh-huh.
trigger was going in that gun like that night. And then when I saw that, met Andre back down in I don't know if it was this year or last year, and we've done some business together. And
Yep.
man, I'm a sucker for if people appreciate stuff like that, man. Hey, I'll make more.
Well,
It'll come. It'll take some time, but I'll make more.
this is again, it's very true, and I'm not blowing smoke. This is for shooters by shooters,
For sure.
and this is how, I mean, from day one when I met you, you haven't changed. You're the same person you were 8 years ago when I met you. You know, for the first person, your first time you meet somebody to somebody you've known, you're open and honest and just a great guy. And it sounds like I love you, man.
Oh, stop it! You know what's funny, and I appreciate that. I've
Yeah.
got a lot of respect for you and what you do for the sport, and you put a far more time and effort into the sport than probably people realize. From just and I'm not saying it's a thankless job, but it can be tough at times to run matches, whether it's your
Oh, it's a
local.
labor of love. It's a labor of love,
Yeah, your local
when you
match or
get,
the major match. It's
well,
my hat goes off to anybody that puts that type of
absolutely. And for those that
commitment,
know,
reinvestment.
you sit there and you go, okay, it's 2 hours before match. I'm there to set up, and there's one other person that shows up to help set up.
Yep.
And it's like, well, it's got to get done.
Yeah. Yep.
And you just trudge through it. Now, I'm very fortunate that I tend to have 4, 5, sometimes 6 people showing up to help set up. And, setting up Steel Challenge is not hard. I mean, some of the plates get heavy. The smoke at home cart gets real heavy if you put everything on it. But you want to set it up right. And because you want everybody to be on the same playing field, and when somebody shoots a PB, that it's going to count, that you're not going to have to throw the stage out. So
Yeah.
let's just put it this way, Steve. I hope everyone can continue to be as awesome as we are.
so my wife said something to me yesterday. It cracked me the heck up.
What was
So
that?
so my wife, we've been together. So I started dating my wife as of 4 days ago. 27 years ago, Jeff. 27
Wow.
years. Yeah, I know, right? When did I become the old guy? But anyway, so my wife for years, like, hey, grow a beard, go goatee, grow a beard. I'm like, nah. And then I don't know how many years ago. It was probably 6 years ago or something like that. I decided to grow a beard. And my wife, I think it came up on Facebook or timeline when I was fortunate enough to be featured on the cover of USPSA's Front Sight magazine, and I didn't have a beard. Well,
Yep.
so my wife took that picture, she sent it to me, and she says, "You're never going back. I did my time with you without a beard. No going back." And I was like, "Oh my gosh." There is ladies out there that love a guy with a beard, Jeff. I think my wife loves me either way, but I'm starting to wonder.
Well, there's levels of love, you know.
Yeah, there is.
Well, that's
All
awesome.
right, so Rimfire Challenge World Rimfire match,
Yep.
RCSA. Your first one.
Absolutely.
Let's break down the pros and the cons. Well, let's
Yep.
not call it cons. Let's just say some areas of opportunity. But
Challenges.
this was
Challenges that, there were some
yeah,
things that maybe could have been a little smoother in our eyes.
yeah. But
And
but but let's start off with you because this is I think your first world match, maybe
it
even
is.
state level. Let's call it a major
Yeah,
rimfire match.
major.
What did you like the most, and where do you think we got some opportunities? Let's go with the. Let's start maybe back and forth. Let's go through what was really cool, what was great, and
So
then we'll
yeah,
go from there.
right off the bat, I've always loved the fact that you've got to be good in both guns to win the match.
Yep. Okay.
It's not just one gun. You got to be good in both. You got to be good both in a rifle and a pistol. I enjoy that. I thought the variation on the stages, we had eight down low, and they were a little more burners.
Oh, speed stages for
Speed
sure.
stages, okay? Some of them deceptively not as fast as you thought they might be.
Yeah, definitely a mixture of technical and speed. So yeah,
Yes.
yep, for sure. I'm thinking
Like if
that little cowboy looking one that was
the
reverse
cowboy
five ago.
one, yep, and they weren't. I'll tell you what I liked the best about them is that, I mean, there were a couple stages that there was really only one way to shoot them. The coffin stage for rifle, it was,
Yeah.
7 plates. You're going to shoot it left or right. There's just no other way to shoot it. It didn't make any sense. But virtually every other stage, there wasn't a central or symmetric design to the stage, which I like, because then you had options. And I like options, and I like when as a match director, I took pictures of every stage, for suggestions when I do these kinds of matches, to be able to say, let's do something like that. Now, I thought I was gonna dislike the fact that they use these giant plates of steel. But I tell you, it was a lot of fun to go fast. It really was.
I'll piggyback on that real quick because over the years I've missed one Rimfire Challenge. Now that's what it's called, world match, and the last 2 years, specifically this year, is very similar to 16 and 17 when I shot. I like the stages. It doesn't favor my shooting style as much. The really burn them down. I like speed with a little technical. At least that favors my shooting style. But the point is that, and I think we saw it with the attendance of the junior shooters this year, or lack thereof, is these types of stages will bring back youth, younger, newer shooters. I
Hopefully,
firmly believe that.
hopefully, yeah.
Firmly
I
believe
mean,
that.
it definitely was lighter on the youth side. Although, be me and me, I went back and looked at the last couple of years, and um in the last 3 years, it's the biggest match they've had.
Is it?
It was back over 200 guns. A couple of years ago, it was down to like 175. But
Was that
yeah,
the Missouri one?
I don't remember. I don't remember. Last year and this year, they were right about the same, right at about that 210, 215 mark.
Yeah.
Which, I think is good. I think, again, I didn't shoot it back when we'll just say there was the stage that people were shooting between their feet. Were you at that match?
Oh, so I made it I was not.
Okay.
I had a flavor for who was on the board and all that kind of stuff, and I heard rumors of what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I made a calculated decision to miss that match because of that. So
Yeah.
that was prone,
Yes.
strong hand, weak hand, and
Yep.
all that kind of lost the complete flavor of
Yep.
what Ruger Rimfire Challenge / NSSF was meant to be.
Yep.
And I didn't support it, so I didn't go.
So I think they've gotten back to possibly the heart of what the game is about,
I
which
would agree.
is, again, there were some deceptively non-speed stages. You got up there and they were giant plates, but they were at a distance, and there was some, variation on heights. And I loved every stage. We shot 8 on Saturday, 6 on Sunday. So I will throw out my first critique.
I
would have much rather shot 10 on Saturday and 4 on Sunday.
100% agree.
I think trying to shoot the whole match in one day, 14, is too much. And especially for those people that might have been shooting 2 guns, it's too much. But, we were right on time. And that's another, now I will turn it around and say that's a positive. We were running larger squads, 14-person squads, but it still was about that same turnaround of about 3 minutes a person. So there was about 42, 45 minutes per stage. We started at 9 because it's Alabama. You can't shoot before 9. And we ended at 3. And if you do the math for 8 stages, we were right on time.
Yeah.
If we'd have done those extra 2 stages, it'd have gone till 4:30, which is still more than enough time to everybody get to dinner or whatever, do whatever they're going to do.
Agreed.
And then come back Sunday, whip out 4 stages, and then go into awards and prize table and so forth.
And I'm just spitballing this, and I don't think you and I talked about it. Do you think that we could have, or would it be a good idea to break up the match into 2 days and shoot a match on Saturday and then another match on Sunday? Meaning, do 8 squads, because a lot of it. Well, the extra 4 bays really separate. No, it really doesn't.
No,
whoever's going to come in first is
people are gonna, yeah, the
who's
good
going to come in second
up...
is going to come in second.
Yes.
I mean, it's so, maybe to do something like, I'm just brainstorming. The good part about having a 2-day match like that is there's a big incentive for people to stick around for the prize table. And I will say that was positive. It was a really good prize table, in my opinion.
I thought it was a very good prize table. There was well over 30 guns, a lot of high dollar certificates. I saw a lot of hunters. I saw some 200s. I saw some 400s from Hunters HD. I saw 500 from JP.
JP stepped up big.
Yep.
Ruger stepped up big.
Yep. There was a lot of the other table, and we'll talk about how they ran the prize table in a minute. And it's just, like parts of the body, everybody's got an opinion, and I'm going to give you mine. The other prize table had more of a product based. Physically, I can pick up the product. So I saw some axle ears on there, which were nice. I saw what, 8 of the new Defender XLs from Vortex.
Yep.
There was a whole bunch of actual product on there. So yeah, I thought the prize table was very good. And for me, the prize table is gravy. I don't go to the match because there's a prize table. I don't go to the match because I'm expecting there to be a great prize table. I go to the match because, quite frankly, I went to this match because I knew I was going to see a lot of people I hadn't seen since Worlds and probably won't see again until the next Worlds.
And that was probably the first time you and I have shot together in a while, which was
long
cool.
time. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. The last time I can remember shooting together might have been
Georgia.
Griffin. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that was the great hold my beer moment.
Oh, I remember. But yeah, that to me, I thought that was cool, and it was really cool spending time with Chat, man. Him and I go way back too, so it was really cool to spend a lot of time. We had, again, great squad. So opportunities with the prize table. Let me go first, and I know you've got another perspective. One of the opportunities, I don't think it's major, but I think it helps from the expediency and satisfaction of the shooter, is a lot of other prize tables are set up in some sort of value order, regardless of if it's a gun or certificate or not. And I think that could have been dissatisfying for a couple folks. So you had, kind of, to your point, product over here, and then you had a long certificate table. So you didn't know if you were, and they weren't in order from a value perspective. So, a Defender XL is a $600 dot, and there's people that picked up a $500 JP gift certificate, and maybe they wanted the JP gift certificate. So thank you, JP. I walked away with 2 of those, so I appreciate that.
Yep.
But at least it would have been up to the shooter to determine what he wanted, and I don't think everybody could have made an informed decision. So as an example, Jenna and Beth asked me to walk up with Jenna to help her on what to get, and that was my first walk at the prize table with Jenna. She shot lights out, by the way, but
yes,
it was. You walked by, she actually grabbed a $250 gift or certificate, and she ended up picking up something that's worth $650. I said, no, it's down here. She said, they're not in order. I said, no. So anyway, so that's my critique or area of opportunity. What's yours for the prize table, Jeff?
I would have split the prize tables up between the 2 guns. Okay. The way they worked it was you walked in the order of finish, and you were allowed to walk twice, but you could only walk the one table. You could only pick up 1 gun.
Correct.
And if it was me, what I would have done was, yes, I would have taken your suggestion and had it in more of a value-oriented fashion. I would have had the limited table, and I would have had the open table. And there would have been, you walk the limited table, and then you walk the open table. That's how I would have done it.
Sure.
Now, because it looked like they had enough prizes to support something like that. They were going to go deep either way. The other way you could do that is completely do it in, again, value order, but you just get to walk once.
Yeah.
And walking once might actually hurt the match with regards to people that are going to go, well, why would I want to shoot limited then? And that kind of goes into my next thing, is that I would, and I suggested this to the management of RCSA, and said, you should treat limited and open as 2 separate divisions. And if you've got enough people to get an award, if you've got enough lady seniors in limited, give out a lady senior limited award. And if you got enough lady seniors in open, give out a lady senior award. Treat them completely separate. Like there's no need for HOA. HOA is nice. It's a cool award, but it doesn't generally, it's going to be the person who wins open. So why bother? Why give that person an HOA? Just it's a 2-division match, limited and open.
Yeah.
You know, the nice thing about the teams event, which they did for the first time this year, was that it was your best finish in the gun. But that's something additional on top of everything else. So, I mean, again, it's easy to stand back and go and make all these assessments. And I think you're with me in saying the match was great. I'm going back again. I had a blast. I thought they did a great job. These are minor suggestions that we're making to possibly make it just go smoother for the future.
Jeff, I will say my biggest dissatisfier of the match was the team competition.
I think I know where this is going, but I'm going to say why.
Because I didn't win. I say I didn't win. The Shooting GG, Jesse Grant, Reagan Hearn, they shot amazing. I think I let them down just a little bit. I didn't think that we won. I knew that it was going to be a photo finish, knowing that was close. And you won with Lance Bratcher Jr., Devin Krause, and Jenna Larson, and it was close. We didn't look back and see the third place team anywhere, but I'm talking smack. Yeah, no, it was. I liked it. It was a cool event. It was just something else to hype it up. Another little friendly competition.
Well, so everybody knows too. Okay, you needed to hear a little history of this whole thing. Okay, I was not planning on going to the match, and I got a call from Lance Bratcher Jr. and he said, "Be on my team," and I said, "I'm not even going to the match, dude." He's like, "Well, go to the match and be on my team." I'm like, "Okay, give me a couple days to think about this." The next call was to Steve, and I went, "Steve, listen. I know you're going to the match. There's going to be other Steel Target Paint team members at the match. Are you okay if I'm going to the match, but I'm not going to be shooting for team Steel Target Paint?" And Steve, who he is, he's like, "Oh yeah, dude, don't worry about it. Come to the match, have fun. Can't wait to see you." And that was the end of it. So
I'm still mad at Lance Bratcher Jr., man. I guess he's a team of one and he needed a team or something. It should have been Team Tippmann against Team Volkwartsen, against Team Tandemcross, against Team Steel Target Paint, against Team Precision Defense. And Jeff, we know who would have won all that, right? We know. We don't have to talk about that anymore, but
it was, it added an extra flair to it and it was fun. But I'll tell you, to me, that match felt just like the Steel Challenge World Speed Shoot, from a perspective of the people that were there and the fun stuff. So I'll tell you one of my great memories, and this is a hoot. So we're towards the end of the last day. I come down from the top. I swung by the food truck, got some food. I'm sitting down, waiting for my turn to shoot. Got a chicken finger in my hand. I got the sauce in the other hand. And Beth Larson, who I nicknamed Willy Wonka on day 2 because she was walking around handing out chocolate like it was going out of style.
She was a pusher. She was Dr. Yes. I called her Dr. Feelgood.
Absolutely. So she tosses me a piece of chocolate.
Yeah, a little dove.
At which point I try to catch it with the hand that has the sauce in it and proceed to throw the sauce all over Lance's cart.
If anybody has video of this, I'll pay handsomely.
Oh my Lord. At which point then Karina's mom comes over with a towel because I'm like trying to find something to clean it off with because I feel terrible. But in the meantime, Lance is laughing, and I'm like, okay, here's the deal. When your dad sees the stains on the cart, just tell him he's got to call Jeff because you've been sworn to secrecy. So
Is that why?
it was
Is that why that dog kept hanging around that car?
exactly. But there was also there was one part where Lance broke out a frisbee, and next thing you know, there's like 6 or 8 people in that big grassy area throwing a frisbee around while the match is going on.
Yeah.
To me,
no,
that
it
was
was
kind of
yeah.
that was kind of cool. I mean, plates were getting painted, everybody had done their job, and it's just little things like that. Oh, by the way, I thought the food was great, but that's another critique. They got to learn how to punch people through faster. That was the waiting in
rough.
line, and the
That
food was
rough,
great.
bro.
I loved it. It tasted great.
Food was fantastic. It
But
was
having to wait 45 minutes in line.
Yeah, that was tough. Without a lunch break, that was even.
Yeah.
It would have been devastating if there was a lunch break. That was a rough one.
Yeah, it would have been tough. It would have been. Yeah, had there been an actual break, it would not have worked.
Yeah.
It would not have worked. So,
let me start off with another positive.
Yeah.
So, I'm telling you what, the hair on my arms is standing up just thinking about it. When Christy Wilkins came out and sang the national anthem on Saturday morning,
that was amazing.
That was
amazing.
I felt more patriotic in that moment than I have in 20 years. I mean,
Yep.
It was just amazing. It was amazing. She did I was talking to her Saturday afternoon, and she just released an album, but I think on Instagram it may be Christy Wilkins, Kristy Wilkins, maybe music on Instagram. Give her a follow, country singer. But she brought the house down. I'm telling you what, you had 200 people there? You could hear a friggin' pin drop while she was singing. I mean, it was lights out, son.
Well, that was amazing. I do not know Christy. I had not heard her sing. I did not know what to expect. And it's a national anthem, so there's definitely just, a respect factor there for our national anthem. And so, okay, she's going to sing, great. You take the hat off and you hear, and within 3 notes, I'm like, okay, this girl knows how to sing. Because it was good. It was very good.
It was very special to kick off that match for sure.
Yep.
For sure.
Well, let's see. Rimfire, triggers, bolt rackers, Vanilla Jones, positives and negatives. I think we covered it all based on my list.
Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. The other part that I would say about the match as well, though.
Did you see the video I did when I went to Brian's tent?
With Brian? Yeah, I did. That's awesome. That was awesome.
That was fun. Yeah.
The other thing I'll say about the match, though, bunch of gunslingers. That was a super competitive match. I mean, yeah, it was. Holy cow!
I'll be honest with you, Steve. I had said it before. I like the technical stages. I do. But when you're talking about, I'm refining my position on this. I like technical stages where I've got a chance to figure out what's the best way for me to shoot them and practice them and then go out and shoot them.
Yeah.
You don't get that with Rimfire Challenge. Yeah, there was a match book. The match book never does the stage justice compared to seeing it on the ground. And you have not, I mean, I don't know if it's in the rules how long you have, but no one's going to take 5 minutes unless you're Adam Reno taking 5,000 make readies. Sorry, did I say that out loud? Did I say that out loud? Oh, supposed to use my inside voice on that one.
So, yeah, I was gonna share something confidential him and I talked about the trigger, but I'll keep it inside. I without his permission, I will not share it. I thought about it. I still may, but no, I won't. So he's shooting one of my triggers. Give me feedback, and initial things are pretty positive. But yeah, there was something that he said that I'll tell you offline. It was pretty darn funny. So
Sounds good.
anyway.
But no, we were,
But
but again, you
it,
don't, you get up there, and like I said, the stages, there was maybe, honestly, maybe 2 stages out of 14 that everybody shot the exact same way.
yeah, I think that
Everything else, there was options.
yeah, yeah. I think there was a lot of stuff like, hey, what? In my advice when you shoot Rimfire challenge is, and I don't mind sharing this with you, is um, there's multiple ways to shoot it, and I always tell people the same thing. Whatever, when you get up the box, who cares how somebody else is shooting it? If you get up there and you think it's the right way to shoot it that way.
Yep. Shoot your
Because
strengths.
yeah, yeah. I favor shooting left to right. Chet Whistle's favor shooting right to left. So there's a stage that was a definitely, I would have said either left or right. And he's like, no, I'm gonna shoot left to right. And I was like, Chet, because of your prescription stuff, it's easy to shoot right to left. Yeah. I said, I promise you right now, you need to shoot this right to left. I was pretty insistent because it's just, if you try to shoot what other people or even what the stage is laid out, you always will shoot it faster to your strengths. And he shot it. I was like, man, you should have shot that shit the other way because you burned that thing to the ground. I mean, Chet Whistle is a gun with that pistol. I mean, he is an amazing pistol shooter.
No doubt about it. And so let's talk about what this community is like too. Okay. We were on the second or third, I think it was the second last stage. I think it was stage 14 because we started on 2. And Chet's rifle turned into a bolt action in the middle of his first string.
Yep.
And so first thing, it's like, hey, Chet, I got my part, I got my kit right here. We grab the kit, we go to the safe table, open it up. He finds the right size hex. We're looking around. Looks like he might have lost a part. Next thing you know, I'm like, well, Steve's got a gun. And you were like, oh yeah, use my gun. And so he finished with your gun.
And well, he actually, so here's what he did. He took my gun apart. So he used his upper because he's got an offside
I thought he
mount.
Shot your gun.
No, with my lower, and it's got some super secret precision defense AR trigger in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it is nasty. It's a pound, I don't know, a pound and 3/4, maybe somewhere in there. A little bit of take up, a little bit of over travel, glass break. I mean, it is nasty. And he shot that thing. He goes, is that my trigger in that gun? I said, yeah, now give it back. I'm going to watch you give me that lower with that trigger and put it back in my bag and put it on my car. Yeah. But, it was cool. So he got.
Speaking of getting stuff back.
Hey, I'm not going to.
Yeah. Speaking of getting things back, did you know that your gold magazines did make it home? I promised I was going to steal them, but I didn't think that was the right thing to do. But that's the next thing that I need to spend money on with you is the gold magazines.
Yeah. So for those that haven't seen them, I had 6 magazine bases, the buttons, and what's the plug called? I apologize. I'm drawing a blank. The part that the spring rides up and on, not the follower, the part at the bottom of the magazine. I had them all tin coated, which I didn't intentionally polish the magazine body itself because that's work. Quite a bit of work actually to polish something to get it where you want it to be. So I sent them out just a regular magazine and had them had them tin coated, which is a PVD coating, and they put it on tools, to make it a little slicker. There's a technical term for that, but it's slicker, and it'll stand up to the 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 wear and the abuse and stuff like that, because it's more viscous or whatever it's called. But so we started shooting in the morning. It was like
Let's
40
go with
yeah,
slipperier.
slippier. Well, it limits the viscosity of the blood. I don't know what the heck ever it's called. Anyway, but ran them in the morning at 40 degrees, and they worked as advertised. So we're gonna do some testing. Travis and Layton are gonna test them up in Iowa or wherever, Canada, wherever they live, and try them during the winter and make sure that they work well, because not everybody's big into the heater thing and all that other kind of jazz. So we're gonna do that, and maybe offer it. It's not inexpensive. It's like $40 a mag to have them done, kind of deal. And there's
Steve,
I guess if you do like 500 of them, it's less, but
if you come out with like a gold-plated toothpick, I'm going to buy it. It's like it doesn't matter if it's gold or shiny brass. Yeah, it's like, ooh, shiny, and I'm buying it from you. So that if you make 6 more, I'm gonna get them. So I think the word you were looking for earlier may have been plunger.
Plunger, that would work. Because, and that's the other part, is sometimes when you get those magazines, you bring them down to the last round or two.
Yep.
I think the spring hangs up on that plunger. So we make that a little bit slicker, and these things run really smooth. So they ran smooth all weekend, not a single malfunction. Gun ran really, really well. And it's one of those things that's bad, because now I want to go out and shoot that gun again, because when you shoot well with something, like, all right, let's do some more of that, because you want to relive that moment or keep the moment going. So all right, Jeff, that's enough of all that stuff. It was great talking with you, sir, and it was great seeing you this weekend.
One more thing I want to bring to everybody's attention for those, because I'll get this posted up. We're doing this on Friday the 25th. On Monday, the 28th, is the October board meeting, and Zach will be presenting the revised 2025 peak stage time adjustments.
Okay.
So for those that want to get in and get the information on exactly what's going to happen, more than likely they will be doing the live feed, and you can watch the board meeting, and it's actually on the agenda is new business. So, and one of the first things, so you don't even have to watch the whole thing. So just wanted to bring that up as well.
All right, the suspense is killing me. I'm going to tune in.
All right, Steve, sounds good. Well, hey, you know what we do? How do we end, everyone?
ST Podcast 10 for 10% off, rangestore.net.
All right. Good talking with you, Steve.
Good talking with you, sir. Have a good weekend.
Right. Bye-bye.